Good morning. It's Mara Scalacci here for those who don't know me. For those who do, hi guys, welcome back. Okay, so today I thought that I would do something slightly different. I really want to just quickly chat to you guys about spirituality because I've had so many clients lately that are really confused about spirituality in a number of different ways. So I am putting out a T's and C's at the beginning of this without trying to strip for you here. Hold on, sorry, my shirt's falling down. Every time outfit, Marilyn Monroe never had shit like this to deal with. I'm just saying. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to talk to you a bit about spirituality from my point of view. Okay, so for you that don't know me, I'm a psychic medium, I'm a Reiki master, and I'm a metaphysical teacher. And I am also what I consider to be a baby witch. I'm still learning the Wiccan craft as my religion and my I would say rather my faith. I don't really align with the word religion. Not a judgment call, just a personal alignment, energy alignment. Because I kind of feel that with religion comes constraints. Okay, please understand that if you're watching this, that this is not a judgmental call in any single way. I have complete and profound and utter respect for every religion, every faith. I really do, and I draw from the different energies for myself, actually, in the way I work and the way I worship and the way I live. So please understand that in no way am I knocking religion. It's just not in alignment with who I am and where I want to be in my space, in my faith, what I call my faith space. Okay. So, with in light of everybody being a bit confused, I want to dispel some kind of myths and things that go down with this. It's kind of like when people talk about spirituality, there's kind of like this range that people put people that are spiritual into. So either you are a Buddhist monk that meditates for 3 hours at a time, like 6 times a day, or you are a hippie and you don't shave and you live this like carefree life and the other option is like when you're doing things like I do, where I do readings and things like that, then you're suddenly like a gypsy because you've got crystal balls and you're all like Cher's dark ladyish, like laughing and dancing around all exotically, you know. And here's the thing with spirituality: very seldom do people allow for a space in the middle, a space of normality to a certain extent. And when I say normality, I use the term normality as in what is normal for each individual. Okay. So what I want to say to you is that you can be logical and you can be rational and you can be all of those things, but you can still be spiritual. You don't have to suddenly walk around long skirts with bells and things. Look, it's fabulous. If you want to do that, do what you do. Like, seriously, I'm all about that. But at the end of the day, spirituality is an intrinsically personal experience. It is also not a destination. Okay. And I'm going to explain to you now quickly why I say that. It is very much a journey. And it's not always the easiest journey. It's seriously, you ask any light worker, anybody who does readings and who does healings and things like that, it's not an easy journey in any means. We are forced to face our shadow sides. We're forced to face the sides of ourselves that we don't like, but in that we grow and we learn and we shine our light a little bit brighter. And I'm not just talking about the people who work this, I'm talking about each and every single person out there, every single person on this planet. We are connected through love, and we are connected through that which is the divine connection, okay, which carries the energy of love. So at the end of the day, spirituality is about finding that divine connection that works for you. Okay, that is paramount. It's fundamental to understanding that. Okay. One of the reasons I just wanted to quickly say something about it being a journey and not a destination is because so often people will come to me and say, I just want to open my third eye so I can be psychic. I'm like, oh, sit down, sweetie, make yourself some tea because I've actually got time to bake you a batch of like cookies and stuff like that. This is not a quick fix. Spirituality is no quick fix. It's not going to be a band-aid because you've lost your faith in a specific religion, or you're not you're not where you want to be in your life. Spirituality, honestly, my core belief on spirituality is about yourself. It's about working on yourself. It's about identifying the divine within yourself and acting from a place of integrity and of love. Okay. That for me is the core belief system around my spirituality. Okay. Faith is obviously huge for me as well. We all have times where our faith wavers, where things go pear-shaped in our lives. And we're going to, oh my God, this piece of hair, really. I need to make an appointment with my hairdresser. We all have times in our lives where things go pear-shaped and we're not happy with what's the space that we're in. And that's okay, because that is showing us something. We call those things triggers. They trigger us to feel a certain way, and then we have to work backwards from that feeling to work out why we feel like that, how we want to change this, what we want to, where we want to be. And we start working around the issues that have been triggered. Once you work around those issues, the triggers then start to get less and less and less, and you don't get triggered by the same stuff anymore, which is an indication that you have healed that space. Okay. Um, so when we talk about spirituality and our faith and stuff like that, what we really need to understand is that at this time, I mean, it's all over Facebook. I mean, we're all on Facebook. You wouldn't be on YouTube if you weren't also probably a Facebook user. It's very unlikely that you're going to work one social media platform and not another. But everybody is about being individual and letting our own personal light shine. Okay. And this is where I want to explain to you why I have a slight disalignment with the energy of religion. All right. Because with the energy of religion and specific belief systems and things like that, you are being asked to perform um, collective and institutionalized actions. Okay, so ways of donating charities, ways of having your faith, ways of believing, what to believe in a lot of ways. Okay, I don't believe that that set mold can fit every single individual. It's not possible. If we're all there to shine our individual lights, that mold is not going to fit me. It may fit you, but it may not fit me. There may be another mold in the religion that fits me, but it doesn't fit you. And it's going to be something that then inhibits us from being who we are meant to be, and to feel what we're meant to feel, and to be where we're meant to be. And that's a big problem for me. That's a big one. It's something I struggled with for a very long time. I was born into a Christian family. I went to Anglican schools. I was confirmed in the Anglican faith, and I have massive respect for it. When I was in matric, or grade 12, I then converted. In fact, it wasn't. It was a grade 11. I converted to Islam, and I spent at least 4 or 5 years under under the religious, the Islamic religion. Beautiful, beautiful religion, and over time I had to make choices, because, for example, religion didn't allow for me to be who I truly am, which is gay. So I then thought, okay, well, I can't bend these rules to work for me. That doesn't work. um so I need to develop a space where I can have my faith, I can have my belief systems, but I can still be myself. At the end of the day, self integrity is everything. Before you can go out into the world and have integrity for everybody else and with everything you do, it starts with self integrity. So if you are not able to be who you are just by intrinsically your everyday life, then you're not working with integrity from your core, because you can't be who you are. Then you're hiding parts of yourself, whether it be for shame, for fear of persecution, for whatever it is. Okay, and that creates a bit of a problem, because you're not able to act authentically. Then you're not able to live authentically, which then, as those of you know, will block your throat chakra, and you end up with a whole lot of different issues there. So all I'm trying to say is that I had to make decisions based around who I was and who I wanted to be and how I could live my life. Okay. That's not to say I've taken spirituality and warped things into a million different ways to suit me and to work to my best interest. That's not how it works. But I do believe that you can take elements of things and use those to work for yourself. Okay. Now, I know this sounds like a bit of a weird post, and I understand why, but I really want to get the message out there that spirituality is completely unique. It is a completely unique experience for each and every one of us. What's going to work for one may not work for another. Okay. So let's give you an example of this. I have a very active mind. I have a very, very active mind all the time. And as a result, I struggle to meditate like the conventional way of meditating would be sitting with crossed legs, your hands in a mudra position of some sort, and sitting there in the space of emptiness, just connecting with the divine. That I last for maybe 30 seconds and then I'm out. I'm like, well, that's a wrap. That was good. A little 30-second recharge, then I'm good to go. My best meditations, however, have been sitting on my grass, watching the sun setting with with a cup of tea, and my two dogs next to me, my babies, Zeus and Delilah. And in those moments, because I have love for that space and my children, and the tea, of course, we have love for the tea. And because I have gratitude for those moments, I'm automatically connecting with the divine. It's an instant connection because there's a love and it's a pure frequency. Okay. So in those moments, I gain clarity because I stop to take the breaths, the moments that allow me to appreciate what's going on around me. I'm not thinking about what's happening tomorrow or what needs to go into my diary or what needs to happen. What I'm thinking about is how beautiful the colors are in the sky. How lucky I am to have two beautiful children who want to sit next to mom while I'm watching the sunset. I'm grateful that I'm able to walk into a beautiful home and go and make a cup of tea. I'm grateful for my garden space. All of those feelings or what you're wanting to generate of gratitude and love and just that feeling of abundance, really, in a lot of ways, um, when you are trying to connect in a divine space. So I'm going to show you a little bit of stuff today quickly about stuff that I do think is important in terms of spirituality, one of them being spiritual health. But what I'm really trying to say to you is I want you to find ways to make things work for you. So like I said, I'm a little baby witch. I'm still learning my craft and I obviously celebrate the solstices. So we had a cracker solstice on the 21st of June. It was our Yule celebration. So going into winter solstice. It was also a new moon in my star sign Cancer. Plus, we had lunar eclipse and solar eclipse. So, oh my God, I'm just saying, oh my God, that was a day. But what I did was I thought, okay, I'm going to go into the garden today. There was some weeding that needed to be done. And I decided that I wasn't going to do a traditional Yule kind of thing because I really feel like there was a lot that I'd been shifting and I needed to release. Okay. And I thought, okay, well, the best way to do that is to do my weeding, get rid of the weeds in the garden, and energetically and intentionally, as I'm removing the weeds from my garden, I'm going to energetically remove that energy from my space. It's going to be an intentional weeding session. And honest to God, that was my ritual for Yule. I sat clearing out because in Yule time, it's winter time. We're in the period where we go into a state of dormancy. So we plant the seeds, the bulbs that come up in the spring. Okay, I think I mentioned this in the goddess reading as well. So, what I'm so what I did was I spent my day in the garden and I did all this weeding and I did a lot of weeding. There was quite a bit to do, and intentionally knowing that my intention for this weeding session was going to be a ritual of clearing out the stuck energy within myself, the stuff that no longer serves me. Okay. Now, I can guarantee you, I'd be very surprised if someone went into a book and decided that that was some kind of ritual that should go down for Yule. All right. That was something that I had done because it was a feel for me. It was a gut instinct that that's what I could make work for me in that space and time. And so a lot of spirituality is going to be about self trust. But you can't have self trust if you are not coming from a place of self integrity. Okay, if you are limiting yourself by everybody else's rules, regulations, and their concepts of what spirituality should be, etc., etc. Sorry, if you can hear the dogs, just excuse them. Our dogs are all very good at clearing their throat chakras for no reason. Okay, so so, I then did this Yule ritual and it felt good. I let go of so much that I needed to let go of at that time because there's been so much going on in the last couple of weeks and I've been working through so much and so much has been come up with all of the energy in the planets and all that have come up to be dealt with, releasing karma, releasing past life stuff, releasing ancestral stuff, all of that stuff had come up. So I did it through my Yule time. So now I have planted the seeds in the new moon because new moon is about releasing what no longer serves and planting what you want for the next full moon cycle. And I did that. I did that. Okay. But I did it my way. And to be honest, if somebody's sitting and they're going, oh, that's not really the best way to do it, or this, I don't give a rat's ass. I don't care. If that's your opinion, and you're more than welcome to your opinion. But at the end of the day, I need to work this the way that best suits me and that works for me and that actually does make me feel different when I've done whatever I'm doing. Okay. So when it comes to spirituality, I work with, okay, so I pray to the goddess mostly. I do work with God energy as well, but being a Wiccan, I work with the goddess, I work with the elements, those kinds of things. So when I'm going into my rituals for whatever it is, whether it's a solstice or like a festival, like a Wiccan festival, like Beltane or whatever it is, I then I draw a pentagram and I invoke the five elements. I call in the five elements. I invoke the gods, the guardians, and the elementals of the elements of air, and then I give thanks to them for their protection and their guidance, and ask them for to continue. And I ask for protection in the circle, and then I go on to doing whatever it is that I'm doing for that ritual, whether it be a burning ritual or whatever it is that's coming up for that particular space and time. Okay. um but that's because I align very strongly with elements, especially water and especially air. So I find the rain very therapeutic. So if I go and stand in the rain, I feel like I'm cleansing. If a strong wind comes up, I go and stand out and I let it go. I release in strong winds. So it's all about getting to learn how to work with things. If you identify strongly with the Buddhist stuff, that's fine. Take elements of that you can work with. Don't walk around saying I am Buddhist if you can't abide by all of that, because being true Buddhist, you are supposed to be vegan, and you're not supposed to wear perfumes, and you're not supposed to have, jewelry and stuff like that. There's quite a lot to the whole philosophy of Buddhism if you truly are going into it. But what I'm trying to say to you is create a space that works for you. And I truly, my soul space, don't believe that taking elements of different, sorry, my eyes are watering today, taking elements of different belief spaces and religions is necessarily a bad thing. Like, I've never been Catholic, but I love the rituals that they go through. The rituals are beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. So I'm all about ritual. So are the shamans. The shamans actually believe that you should make your daily chores a ritual. So everything you do, put ceremony and pomp into it, because it's a gratitude that you're giving. So don't just go, oh God, I've got to go and wash the dishes. Make something of it because you're washing the dishes, because you have dishes to wash. There should be gratitude for that. Okay, so I kind of hope I'm making sense here. I kind of hope that you are kind of following with what I'm saying. What I'm really trying to say to you is just come out of this little hoo-ha of mine going, okay, I need to write my own rules about my faith and where I'm at. Okay. What you need to really understand about spirituality is that spirituality you never come from a place of harm. You work from a place of light, first and foremost. You're always coming from a place of light and love. Always. Spirituality is about what keeps your faith alive and your hope alive. Okay, so I think I've said this before in one of my YouTube vids, that my mom always used to say to me, it doesn't matter what your faith is, but have faith. Having faith is very important. It keeps us strong. Okay, so find your faith. Find whatever it is that keeps you faithful. Meditation is fantastic when you are trying to do it, because at the end of the day, spirituality should actually just be called self-discovery. That's what it comes down to. It's about learning you. Each and every one of us are on this path to gain enlightenment. And we may not all get it in this lifetime, but we certainly, every step of the we take is one step closer to that. And enlightenment is actually self-knowledge. It's when you have cleared. I mean, self-enlightenment, it comes with, we talk about the Kundalini rising and you're enlightened and all of that. That's your chakra system. That's all about you. That's your personal energetic map. So for me, if you're wanting to work on spirituality, then write your own rules. Do what works for you. Okay. You do not need to justify it to anybody. You do not need to explain it to anybody. Just don't do any harm. Come from a space of love and make sure that what is working for you is genuinely working for you. Because if you're inauthentic in that, then you're actually just wasting time and energy, which is never an ideal space, because energy is precious. Okay. So, for example, you'll see I'm lifting up my arms. I wear a lot of crystals on my arms a lot of the time. And a lot of people say that's really bad. You shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. Rubbish. I intrinsically listen to my soul. So when I put my crystals on, if I hear, no, not the citrine today, or not the coral or whatever, then I find I'll take that one off. Or there's some days where I just can't wear my crystals at all. And that's okay. I take a day without crystals. It's not the end of the world. Um, but you need to work things for yourself. So I do want to just give you one or two little tips before I go off, because this is turning into quite a long video. But what I want to say to you is spiritual hygiene is everything. Okay, you are playing in the fields of energy now, and as you start developing your spiritual hygiene, your spirituality and your self-discovery and this journey that you start taking, you're going to need to take better care of your energy, okay, to clear it, to make sure that it's in a good space. So a lot of people do smudging, they just burn on the sticks and then they walk around and smudge. Okay, I'm not fond of that. I'll tell you why. Very often you struggle to light it and all of that, and I really am about ceremony and like fab stuff. So you'll see I've actually burnt sage recently. I've got a little shell here that I use. Oh, I'm dropping it onto my laptop. And then I've got my one that I use to sage. And I walk around, I'll show you here. I walk around and I just sage like this. I put the sage in there without all the twigs and things like that. So that's the sage, it's pure burning. And then I walk around and I intend that my space is clear of negative energy. I go over my doorways, intending that light, love, and joy come through the doors. And that kind of stuff. Okay, so understanding that you have to start taking that, you have to clear your spaces, especially when you find that people that have got very heavy energy have been in your space. The other thing that you need to do is obviously clear your own personal energy. So grounding is important, being in the garden, being up against trees, walking barefoot on the grass. And then also you need to start doing things like Epsom salt baths to clean your auric field out, okay, because it's a really, really good way to also clear toxins out of your body. So spiritual hygiene becomes important. It doesn't matter how you choose to practice your spirituality, and whether you want to be on the side of the monk, or whether you want to be on the side of the hippie, or you want to just be in the middle and try and sort your own way through. Just make sure that you are very your spiritual hygiene is a conscious action that you are working at consistently, okay, because that is going to be paramount to you actually being able to manage your energy and stuff like that as well. Okay, so mala beads, let's talk about mala beads quickly. I love my mala beads, I always work with them. Little tip for those of you that struggle with meditating. Mala beads are a fantastic way to learn how to meditate. 108 beads on this, for a number of different reasons. There are a million different reasons. And I literally started by just using a mantra. So when you're working with mantras, you can use something like Om Mani Padme Om, or Aum, or Om. You can just do basic Oms. But what I like to do is I like to own what I'm trying to achieve. So for example, if it's freedom, I'll use the mantra I am freedom, because I'm claiming it for myself. The I am claims that for yourself, okay? So I will just literally go, and what happens is while you are working your beads, you're going, I am freedom, I am freedom, I am freedom, I am freedom, over every bead. I am freedom, I am freedom, I am freedom, I am freedom. It doesn't allow your mind to wander, because you're making sure that you don't miss any of these beads. So that mundane task of just sitting running your fingers over it distracts your mind, okay? And it's a good way to train yourself by starting off with mala beads first and foremost. And then what I do is I do what I call moments of mindfulness. So I've got a beautiful wall on my veranda that I sit on. I've got the most beautiful view of my garden and of the landscape, and it's just beautiful. So I'll sit and I'll do 3 rounds of my mala beads, whatever I want to mantra about, okay? And then what I do is once I've done my 3 rounds, I sit with my eyes closed. I make sure my one foot is on the grass on the other side of the wall, and I literally just sit and I shut down. So I close my eyes and I start listening for the birds in the garden. I listen to the breeze in the leaves. I smell what's going on in the garden. I feel the sun on my skin. And in those moments, you are more present than you can possibly imagine. And that is, in essence, what meditation is about. It's bringing you into this moment, because that's all we have. We have this moment. So if you're struggling, try moments of mindfulness. I promise you, and it literally takes me between 3 to 5 minutes. When I do my moments, I put the kettle on to go make myself some tea. I go and do my moments of mindfulness. When that's finished, I go back, make my tea, and then I go sit down and I carry on with my work, or I go to my clients, or whatever's happening thereafter. Okay, so please understand that if you are just starting out or you're feeling a bit lost, do that kind of stuff. Learn your chakra system, because about self-discovery, if you want to learn it, your chakra system is your energetic map to you. Okay, and although we all have the same system, okay, our systems are going to tell us different things because we are different people. Again, you can't make every single shape fit into the same box. Okay, so your chakra system really is a map to who you are and where you've been and where you need to go. So I really suggest you have a look at studying your chakras. and getting some kind of clarity on that as well. But start writing your own rules. I mean, even my malabees, like I said prayers in them. So very often, if you'll see me, if I wear my okay, a batata, I don't do batata, but if you see my mala beads around my arm, it means I've said a prayer in that. It's normally for someone else, but even if it is for me, I said a prayer in that, and I keep them there. And then every once in a while, I just touch the beads and I bring myself back to that moment of connecting with that prayer for whatever it is. Okay, write your own rules, and I mean this seriously. Spirituality doesn't have to be daunting. Um, but it is something that takes time and effort, and it is something that is so completely and utterly rewarding, like you don't understand. So please don't for a second even think that you have to be a part of the group, that you have to conform to certain rules and regulations. Like if you don't meditate for an hour every day, that you're not going to be. Meditate for what you can do. If you can only manage 2 or 3 minutes, that's better than nothing. It's like saying that the person on the street that's jogging slower than a herd of tortoises through peanut butter, that person's 10 times ahead of the person sitting on the couch eating chips, watching TV. Like, it's the small steps constantly, okay? But remember to be authentic. Remember to come from a place of love and light. And remember that at the end of the day, you cannot be an individual and conscribe to basically sheep mentality in a lot of ways. And I mean that in not in a derogatory sense, but I mean that in a collective mentality. You cannot, you have to have the feels for that. Okay, so I would say that the only collective mentalities that we should be working towards are unconditional love, kindness, compassion, authenticity, the pure stuff that's not defined by rules. Those are the collective energies we should be trying to connect with. Okay. I know I've spoken for quite a long time, a lot longer than I'd anticipated. I really hope you've enjoyed this. Please subscribe if you've enjoyed the content and you want to get some more. There'll be a whole lot more other stuff coming up in the near future. And I will below I will put my website and my email address should you wish to connect and to check out what services I offer. So I hope this has clarified things a little bit if you haven't been sure about how to do spirituality. And I really look forward to connecting with you soon. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm hopefully going to get a Fat Girls Guide out this week, but if not, it'll be the Goddess Energy and then the Fat Girls Guide straight after. So sending you lots of light and love. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And I hope that you have loads and loads of moments of aha and mindfulness in the weeks and months to come. Sending you lots and lots of love always. Mwah.